Welcome back to Centennial Roots Homestead. I'm Kristen. Today we're out in the barn. I wanted to show you my latest and greatest piece of equipment that makes homestead life when you have milk animals very enjoyable. So my whole life I've grown up very rural, living on a farm, having all kinds of farm animals. As an adult though, I had my first goat experience when I had some cattle dog puppies that lost their mom unexpectedly and I needed to feed them. So enter milk goat number 1 and 2, and I fell in love with milking the goat and making things. Besides just feeding the puppies, I was then making things for us as a family. Later on, the goats didn't quite fit into what we were doing, and so I sold the milk goats and got meat goats. But full circle back, I now have milk goats again, and along with that, we've added milk cows. I can't decide which one I like best as far as milking and using the milk products, so I decided I'll just keep both. But with that comes a lot of responsibility. That means getting up once or twice a day to go out and milk those animals. Whether or not you're calf sharing or kid sharing, it still is a lot of responsibility, a lot of work. If you hand milk or machine milk, again, pros and cons to both, but machine milking, you have to clean the machine. Hand milking, well, it obviously is harder on a person's hands. So after using several different types of machines and weighing the pros and cons, I was still looking for that ultimate help me machine, and I came across this one. I can milk cow and goat, one right after the other. They have 2 different compartments so that I can use half-gallon or gallon jars for the goat milk, and then a stainless steel bucket for the cow with just a few simple adjustments in the machine. So to me, I think they've thought of everything, and I've enjoyed so far using it on both the goats and the cows. I happened across the Simple Pulse on one of my social media pages. Thought I'll check them out. And the research I did, I was very excited, and so I went ahead and purchased a machine. And since then I have used it on goats and cow both, and I am still very impressed, so I wanted to pass that along to you in case you're looking for something that makes life easier. I used to hand milk the goat, and it would take 15 to 20 minutes. I can actually milk the goat and clean the machine in less than that now. So it's been very enjoyable. So let's take a look at it. So this is the Simple Pulse machine made by a family in Oregon. And I have been really impressed with the versatility of the machine. It came to me in 2 large boxes. There were instructions with some how to put these little parts together, and we don't have to go through all of that, but essentially it is very simple in that it came with the filters and it told you exactly where to put them. This is for the vacuum filter, and it just snaps right on there. And the same with the exhaust filter on this side, and it simply pops right in there. So it made it very simple, color-coded even, to be able to know where to put what. So those just snap together. This little compartment, if you choose to, you can get an inline filter with the jars. I chose not to because I already am used to filtering my milk when I take it into my canning kitchen, but there is that option available. The pulsator is very cool. I had never seen anything like this before, in that on the back side of it, it actually shows you what pulsations you need for sheep, goats, and cows. So this machine will actually, you can use a 2-claw setup or the 4, and you can adjust just by the little screw there in the back and forth as you need to for the pulses per minute. So that's really cool that it's right there for you. You don't have to try to remember it, and very easy to adjust. So with this, at the time that this machine came, I got the 2 claw set up, and it came with all these hoses, 6-foot long hoses. My second hose is back ordered, but I will then also have the ability to milk all 4 quarters of the cow should I choose to do that if I'm not calf sharing. This will be where the second one will hook up, and so then I can use all 4 or milk all 4 quarters at the same time. But for the goat, it is nice and easy. I've already got it set up, and with calf sharing, I'm just milking 2 quarters right now. So down here, you've got your gauge, and all the instructions were very clear. It shows you exactly what to do to make sure you've got accuracy on your gauge. And simply, this is the open and close, and when you've got it open, that's when it's most accurate. So I check that periodically to make sure that I have the pressure that I want, and then I just leave it closed most of the time. These are just your valves for open and closed, so it's easy when you start pumping. If you need to turn it off, release suction, it's just a finger to do that. Down here is where the actual, I got the stainless steel bucket, and it's this lid, and what I basically do is just attach these 2. They just pop off and right down onto there. This is the overflow canister, so if you get just really aggressive or you lose track of where you're at in milking and you overflow your bucket or your jar, it will go into here, and that way you're not ruining your motor. The stainless steel bucket also came with a transport lid so that you don't spill anything. So back up here, this is where I milk into the goat, or milk the goat into this. And I just use one I have set up for my cleaning solution, and I simply pop this off. Simply. So it would go onto here and be ready to milk. So that's all there is to that. I'll show you now as I turn it on. Hopefully it won't get too loud. It's really not a loud machine at all. I've been impressed with that. I've got a first-time heifer that calved this time, and she wasn't even startled by the machine being beside her, so that was good. So the on-off button over here, and you can hear it starting to pulsate. It's actually set on the goat pulsation right now. When you close the line, and what you can do is actually to test it if you don't have an animal, is just put these together and then open that line. And that's how your pulsations will be when it's actually on the teat. You can feel the amount of suction. So it's really very comfortable for the animal. Again, my first time, my heifer that calved didn't even care that I put these on her. So the milk will just come through as for the goat and come into this jar. And then when I'm done, I simply turn it off, take these off, break the suction, and turn the machine off. And you're good to go. When I'm finished, I pop this off, and I've got my lid. I just put my lid right on the milk so that it's ready to go. And I pop this onto this empty jar, and that's my cleaning solution. I just do a simple warm water and Dawn soap for the first rinse, and then I come back with a vinegar and hot water rinse after that. And then the machine, the tubes just hang out to air dry. And then once a week I do a more thorough cleaning. But as far as once or twice a day, that's all that I need for this. So very impressed, very user-friendly. Haven't had a lick of trouble with it so far. So I'm excited to keep using it. Oh, I didn't mention this. The other They've got a little quick start guide right here, which is just on the machine and laminated. So if you have any quick questions or concerns, it's right there. Tells you about anything you'd need to know. One thing I did want to mention is that with this machine, you can either mount it on a table or a wall, or the option to have this cart is available. And I chose the cart just because I'm going back and forth from goat to cow and then my outdoor canning kitchen. But it's really a neat, I mean, it fit on there perfect, and it's even got a little storage in the back where you can add, I've got my extra insufflators for when my extra tubing or my other tubing comes in, if you could keep anything back there. Heavy duty wheels, it rolls really nicely and keeps the machine safe. My idea is to get like a barbecue grill cover or something like that that I can then throw over this and kind of keep extra dirt, dust, and straw out of it. So I think the cart's a real good investment. It does have the handles on the back to kind of keep the tubing up out of the way too as you're moving it. So definitely something I would recommend above any other machine. So I did mention that the other hose is on back order, and not a big deal. This is a very small family business, family run, family owned, and they've been excellent to work with. I've called them 2 or 3 times just to ask questions about how I wanted my machine set up, and they make them whenever you order it. So it was about a 3-week wait to actually get the machine in. And again, no big deal for me. I understand parts can sometimes be limited, but they wanted to get the machine out to me right away because I explained that my calf was coming. And so they said, rather than wait for all of the equipment and ship all at the same time, they'd get this to me. I could start working or start milking, and then they'd add the rest of it as soon as they could, which is only supposed to be another week or so. So I would highly encourage you to use them. They've been excellent. So if you are milking one head or several head, whether it be sheep or goat or cow, I would highly recommend this machine. We will put a link to their website in the description below, and you can go and check them out.